Have you ever dated a person who never took you to their house or anywhere for that matter? Well, that was me with a lot of dudes. I dated a lot of guys who didn't take me anywhere. They were either at my house or I was meeting them on the block. You know what I mean? And that's partially my fault because I liked a certain type of dude. Like, I was very invested in finding this sensitive thug. Now, I know that this really didn't exist, but now I know. But back then I didn't know. I really thought that he existed and I was going to make sure that I got it. So, with this guy, this is another Harrisburg person. White dude. Now, I had a phase where I was like heavily into white dudes who was from the streets, like who grew up in the hood, who grew up around all black people and who had black people problems, but they was white. Like it was something about them that I was just really attracted to. It was a phase, okay? Let me just put that out there. It was a phase. Um so this one, like, what are we gonna call him? Because he had a street name, and I'm not going to put his street name out there because I know that somebody from Harrisburg is watching and they're going to put two and two together. And hey, you still might. Let's just give him the initial R. Um, R was real fine. Like, he was a fine ass white boy. Like, he he was just different. Like he kind of resembled Pitbull, but he was white. And I know a lot of people don't think Pitbull was fine, but he was like a finer version of that because he's tall and he looked good. Like he dressed nice and so you know what I mean. But it was like I liked him. I liked him. He was real hood, and it was just perfect. So I was like, bet, let's do this. Let's talk. Let's get to know each other. And that's what we did. And I mean, it was a lot of meeting up on the block and just talking. There was really not a lot else going on. Um, Eventually we started to get physical and the sex was bomb. It was bomb and I was just like, yes, this is it. This is what I'm doing. Whenever he want to do it, I'm doing it. That's what we doing. So I used to meet him at this dirty deli on this strip called Dairy Street. It was this deli. I don't know, I forget what it was called, but me and my homegirl used to call it the Dirty Deli because it was dirty inside, like, but it's where all the hood niggas would like frequent for some reason. I don't even know what they was doing in there. I never went inside. It was just always sitting outside in the Dirty Deli. You know, he got to my head like a lot. Like he would game me and sell me false hope and tell me that, we're gonna be together and he had plans for us and, I better not be fucking with nobody else and all this other stuff. And at that time, I'm like, oh shit, that's cute. But it wasn't cute. He didn't go out, he didn't go to clubs. He was just always on the block. And I'm like, all right, well, that's at least I know where he's at all the time. Um, but did I really? Because I didn't know where he lived. Like, I didn't know what street he lived on, even if he lived in the area that he was chilling. I didn't know nothing about him for real. All I knew was that I was attracted to him. He was attracted to me. And any chance that he called, I was coming. Like, that's all I knew. There wasn't a lot to that relationship except for sex. And it was a really fun time in my life. It really was not like any drama with him. There was no drama, no stress until I started to question why I don't know where you live. Like, why can't I know where you live? Like, what is this? What are you hiding? Oh, I'm not hiding anything. Like, I don't be at the crib, so why you need to know where the crib is at? Like, stuff like that. Like, start getting real defensive. And I'm just like, all right, well, then, whatever. I ain't doing this with you no more because I don't like to be a secret. And I feel like I'm a secret. I felt like I was a secret a lot. Like, I allow people to put me in situations where I was always like the side piece that didn't know they were a side piece. Like, I allowed that shit to happen for years and years and years. This was like 2000. maybe. So 2008 to roughly 2013-ish that went on. So yeah, very rough time in my life. But a lot of good times too. I enjoyed my dating experiences, you know. He was one of the highlights of my dating experiences even though he was playing the shit out of me. One night he called me. It was just like, I've been thinking about it, and I think that you should know where I stay. So here's the address, come through. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is great. Like he's finally like letting me see where he lives and everything. He didn't want me to, dip out or whatever. I don't know. Obviously it was a ploy to keep me around because he wanted to keep me around for his own selfish reasons. Sends me the address. I pull up and he's waiting for me on the porch. And I go up and I'm like, so this is where you live? And he's like, yeah, come in. So we go in and there's nobody there. It's this row house and it looked exactly how I thought it would look. It was a hood house and he lived in the hood. He lived on the hill, which, is another hood, is one of the hood areas in Harrisburg. And I was like, okay, well, you got furniture and it's I guess, you all right, you ain't living on the streets and it's cool. It's clean in here. So I'm good with that. So, of course, we have sex. And it was great. Like it was always great. Like the sex was just great. That was just the fun part of it. It's just the sex. Like I enjoyed it. Feelings were definitely involved, but I knew nothing was going to come of it because of how he was carrying me. So I was just like, fuck it. Like, if I could just have him this way, this is how I have him. And that's just what it is. So he gets a call and he's like, I got to step out. Can you wait here for me? And I'm like, all right, I'll wait. So he leaves. And I'm just sitting there. There's no TV in this place. This is like a fucking trap house. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was like big, but not like big and nice. It was like big and ratchet. So it had stairs. So there was obviously like, I think there was like maybe another level, maybe two. I don't know. But them row houses in there and on the hill were pretty high up. So I was just sitting there. It was this floral couch. There was no lamps, no lights in the ceiling. It was dark and nothing but the light coming in from the street. So I'm just sitting there like a fucking idiot, waiting for him to get back. And the kitchen light came on while I'm sitting in this house by myself. So I thought. The kitchen light comes on and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, hello? Y'all, this white woman walks into the living room and was like, who the fuck are you? And I said, I am waiting on that was his wife. His whole entire wife. This man had me in his house, fucked on his couch with his wife home. Home. Like, I don't know how the fuck she didn't even hear me or us or any of that. I don't know if she was upstairs at the time or what, but when I tell you, I was like, wow. Yeah, I'm about to go. And I left. Like I didn't want to get into that with her because I'm in her home. Do you understand how fucked up that left me? Like I felt terrible. I was like, oh my God. He's married. Nigga. Who does this? Why do y'all think that y'all can do this and think that this is okay? It is not okay to cheat on your wife and to cheat on your wife in her house while she's home. Like, I was just like, you know what? This is just too much for me. That was the end of that. Like, I mean, he chased me for years after that. Oh, let me explain. So the explanation that I got was, are y'all ready for this? He has cancer and he doesn't have health insurance. So, in order to get the treatments that he needs, he had to marry her. That is the story that was given to me as to why he had a wife. I want y'all to really let that marinate and really try to put yourself in my situation. What? So not only are you a fucking liar, you're evil. Like, what the fuck? But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Dating Chronicles. I am V, and I'll see you next week.